Cheers, everybody. We are back for another edition of Bourbon on a Budget. It's review time. Myself, TJ Pittenger, Brendan Sinone, and Ben Cock. We are reviewing tonight Maker's Mark.
Bourbon.
Maker's Mark, regular, standard issue bourbon. I have a little baby airplane bottle, but I haven't opened it yet. Brendan hasn't opened up his either. We wanted to take a second and comment on how even on the airplane bottles, they dip them in wax. Does that shock you? What do you guys think about that?
Does it impress me? Yes.
It is impressive. I did not open this. I didn't do my typical let it sit and marinate for 3-hour deal because I wanted to open
Your tasting profile is going to be so off for this.
Yeah, this is not going to be a fair. Thought everyone was going to have to see me struggle to open it on camera. Thank God. Got it. Well, as we discussed in the previous episode, TJ, that is Maker's Mark, the red wax is synonymous with Maker's Mark, so it's very important to their branding, has been for a very long time. So I guess it makes sense. But yeah, I wonder how much money like this takes to do that. Probably not that much. Probably like 2 cents a wax here, right? You think?
They're all hand dipped though, so like by hand.
That is what hand dipped mean. Yes, means yeah.
By the hand.
Anyway, just something kind of cool that they do even for their cheapest of, or not cheapest, but yeah, well, their cheapest and their smallest of sizes. Brendan, tell us about Maker's Mark. Let's get into it and let's review this thing.
Maker's Mark is the entry-level bourbon. It's a straight bourbon of Maker's Mark. Huh? How about that? It's from. It's technically owned by Beam Suntory. What isn't owned by Jim Beam? Right now, Beam Suntory. Proof 90, no age statement, mash bill, 70% corn. Ready for this, guys? 16% wheat. Yes, this is a wheated bourbon. The wheat replaces the rye, and then the rest is 14% malted barley. MSRP, I don't know, somewhere between $20, $25, I guess, depending on where you are, what state is. ABC has this on sale quite a bit, where I think it's like $19.99 sometimes. So yeah, it is indeed a budget bourbon. I think that's fair to say.
Place by me called Party Liquors has it very often, has the handle of it for fairly cheap. I'm talking like $35, $34.99, $39.99, somewhere in there. So you can find it fairly cheap. I got my little airplane bottle, my little mini at Walmart today for like $2. So, cool little deal. I am a big fan of going and grabbing a mini of something that I've never had before, or maybe something we review. If it comes in this size, the next time you're in a liquor store, grab something that's a mini. I also picked up minis of reviews coming soon. This is not Pursuits and Purchases, but we're talking about it. Gentleman Jack and Knob Creek. These were $1 and $2 each. Cool way to try something if you've never had it or you want to review it for your bourbon podcast. It's a lot easier than spending $30 to $50 a bottle. Ben, we've been yakking this whole time. Let's talk about the nose on this thing.
Yeah, the nose is so distinct. Most of Maker's products are very similar on the nose to me. I get a lot of pancakes, maple syrup, a little bit of buttery, a little bit of corn, but it's all on the sweet spectrum. Not a whole lot of citrus notes. I don't get a lot of that, but definitely morning. This is a morning bourbon. I'm drinking this, with my pancakes.
Brendan, what do you think?
Breakfast bourbon. Definitely the sweet.
I don't know if I'm drinking this with my pancakes, but I see what you're saying.
No, you pour it on the pancakes. This is the maple syrup.
Yeah,
there's definitely the maple syrup, brown sugar for me, oak heavy, oak forward, and it's kind of got like a little stringency, a little sharp, a little sharp. I haven't started drinking yet. Also, cherry, which I get fairly frequently with Maker's Mark, most bourbons, but it is always pretty prominent to me with Maker's, and a touch of banana, a little banana, not a big banana, mind you, just a little.
Just a touch of banana.
Pequeño banana.
I definitely get the things that Ben's talking about. I mean, power of suggestion being what it is, I'm starting to pick up some of those scents that Brendan talks about.
You're welcome. A little banana in your head.
I do get cherry. too.
The cherry comes in. The banana.
Now that Brendan's saying it, I'm like, yes, banana doesn't exist. All
the
cherry.
banana much less, but the wheat, the pancakes, the caramel and the bourbon and the wheat makes the bready pancake flavor, and that's where you get Banana pancakes with a cherry on top if you're Brendan. Taste. Have we tasted it yet? It's been a while since I've had regular makers. So here we go. Bottoms up.
It's been about a year for me. This is really good, guys. It's very it follows up with the nose where, again, a lot of sweetness on there. The maple syrup, again, brown sugar for me, cherry. It's denser than I thought. It's a little heftier than I thought, given the proof is at 90. Still going to go back and have another sip. But Ben, what are you getting initially there?
Yeah, I don't get the density that you're talking about. Like, I feel like I would like a little more like density of flavor, but I think that is attributed to proof, at least for me. I like the higher proof stuff. So going down to a 90 is, not my ideal, but at this price point, that's what you're going to get, right? But palate, like you were saying, is pretty consistent with the nose. A lot on the sweet flavors. Definitely more cherry here. Maybe a little bit of like a sour cherry as you are getting to like the back end of the palate, but very sweet.
It's better than I was expecting. I just want to say that. Like, it's not bad. It's actually, I don't know. You think like, oh, makers, I used to drink that way back, and then I got all these great bourbons, and now I don't. I'm above that, right? Like, people look at Wild Turkey that way. We've talked about that with different bourbons that we've reviewed, and it's really not bad. It's pretty approachable for the 90 proof. It drinks a little heavier than the 90 proof to me, like you guys were talking about. So Ben has always said he likes the bourbon to fight him a little bit. I mean, I don't know that this fights you too much, but maybe it drinks at like 94, 95, a little heavier, which is great. But yeah, this is a really good basic bourbon, right? Like, nothing jumping off the charts here, but the flavor on this is really solid. It's better than a lot of things that we've tried that are higher priced, without a doubt.
I would agree. I think this lets you get into, if you want to try a wheated bourbon, this is like the go-to entry level. So
I'm liking wheated. I'm liking wheated more and more too.
More and more recently. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I told you guys, like, we did the replacement of Pappy 12 on last week's main show. And so I had the Woodford Reserve weeded out. Just had it out on my table and then drank it like the next 2 nights. Like, it's really good. I wasn't upset about it at all. Now, I enjoy the sweetness, and so that's kind of where that comes in. Finish, Brendan.
The finish is fine. It's good. It very consistent with the rest of the flavor profile, where you get the syrupy sweetness, the cherry, a little bit of oak tannin, kind of a little bit. And I swear, guys, I'm getting a little banana on the finish as well. Just saying. It's got a nice little burn. Everything about this to me kicks above the weight class. Not a ton, but I think it has more flavor than you expect for something that's 90 proof and at that price point. I think the finish kicks a little bit more than you would expect, again, for the price and the proof point. Ben, tell me I'm wrong. Especially with the banana.
You're wrong.
Damn.
You're wrong.
Damn.
But I mean, not entirely. For what it is, it's not the end of the world. Is it great? No. Is it better than average? I would probably say yeah. It definitely has a little bit of the tannin oak bitterness at the end, which I'm not a super fan of. And that's kind of really at the end just kind of dissolves a little bit. But I find that a lot with the more entry level bourbons. So not the best finish, but I think that's indicative of where we're at on a price point.
I actually think the finish does better than Ben's giving it credit for. He's the hardest grader on finishes that we've ever had on this show. And by ever had, between the three of us.
There's only three of me.
And Sean once too.
And Sean once.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ben will find any excuse he can to crap on a finish. I think the only finish he ever gave a full point was the Redbreast Cask Strength 12.
I was going to say, Ben likes higher proof. He wants to be smacked in the face, which typically with the
I want to fight. I want to burn. Mm-hmm. I want to get some depth from there. It's really dense. I want to exhale. And there's to be more flavor there, right? Come on.
So, but I don't think this finish is as bad as Ben's making it out to be. All right, let's rate it. We're about 10 minutes in here today. Let's go through our scores here. I never go first on smell, and I'm not today. Brendan, start us out.
Knew you were going to do that. This to me, hang on, pulling up my notes here. So out of 2 for the nose, I'm going to go with 1. I was thinking about going 1.25, so I'm kind of on the cusp there. But this is an average nose to me. It's pleasant. It's nice. It's nothing life altering. It's not going to stand out with a lot of other bourbons, but it's very pleasant. And again, at the price, like this is really solid. Ben, what are you giving? Am I right? Am I one? We on the same page?
I don't know. I'm actually a little higher than you on this.
Whoa.
I think the nose is really appealing for someone who's looking. This is from the perspective of an entry-level person into bourbon, and I give you a nose that's peppery and rye forward. You may not enjoy that as much, but I'm throwing pancakes in your face and pouring maple syrup on you. So that's what we're offering. And I think Makers is one of those bottles that gives you that opportunity to, be really sweet. So 1.25.
Ooh, okay. All right. Not far.
I like the Makers nose, so I'm giving it 1.25, slightly above average.
Damn, I can't believe I was the lowest on that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Taste,
Brendan. You're hard on scoring, Brendan. Come on.
Redeem yourself, Brendan. Taste.
I'm going to go with the 2.5 here. It's certainly above average. It's got a nice amount. I thought it had a nice amount of depth to it, given the proof that we're working with. Very pleasant. All really nice notes there. So yeah, 2.5 for me, above average on the scale of 0 to 4. What about you, TJ? Ooh, yeah, throw it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a great for the price point. Yeah, I've got this at I think I'm going to go even just a bit higher than you. I'm going to go 2.75.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's a lot better than I was expecting, and it's hitting me really good. It's also like the first thing I've had tonight, so it's not like I'm just completely hammered and rating everything high. So it's
is that what we normally do?
The more you drink, that's why we started recording this first for Movie Magic. So yeah, no, 2.75. It's sweet. It's got a little bit of a hit to it, punches above its proof for his weight class. So 2.75. Ben?
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement here that we're above average on this bottle. Not the best by any means, but definitely above average. So I'm going 2.25, lowest of you guys, but still 2.25 above average. Speaking of that, finish. TJ, what do you rate finish at?
I'm going with a 0.5 here. I'm definitely pulling a Ben, but he'll probably give it a 0.25. But yeah, definitely a 0.5 for me. Just kind of right down the middle, as Ben likes to say.
That's where I always go.
0.5 for me as well. Not that anyone asked.
Yeah, 0.5 for me too. Let's all be consistent here.
Woo! All right. After Ben took a dump on the finish, it's the same.
Yeah.
Cohesion or cohesiveness, however you'd like to say that, and complexity. Brendan.
Let's see. I'm trying to tabulate my scores here. I'm going, well, for cohesiveness, it gets the 0.5 out of that part of the equation. I think for complexity, I was thinking about going 0. I'm going to go 0.25 on that part because there's more than just 2 or 3 notes going on at every level of this. It's not a ton. It's not super complex, but it's averagely complex. So I'm going to go combine those two, 0.75.
I'm right there with you. Yeah, same way. Yeah.
I mean, I thought Brendan did such a good job explaining that as to why. I don't know that we necessarily needed to. I'll go again, bringing our scores to Ben and Brendan with a 4.75 out of 8 and myself with a 5.25 out of 8. Value, again, we talked about this. You can get this literally everywhere. I've never seen a store that didn't have it in it. Price is great. You're talking about $20, 22, 23. If you're paying 25, I've just never even seen it that high. But if you're paying 25, go to the next closest liquor store and they'll probably have it cheaper. And the proof is 90. So for those things considered, we're talking about bourbon that we essentially all gave right around a 5 out of 8 for $20. Guys, let's go Brendan for the value first.
This is a 2 for me. It is perfect value. We are talking about a clearly above average bourbon that is readily available everywhere, as TJ said. I mean, I went to a bar last week, it's an Italian restaurant that had a very small bar. They had just one bourbon. Guess what it was?
Makers.
Jack.
Yeah. No, I was going to go and change it up. No, it had Makers. That was it. You can see this anywhere. If you ever go to a place where you're not sure what to get, you can see that that red waxy label and say, yeah, this is for me. I know this is going to be fine. It's going to be right down home plate. Yeah, this is to be at the price for about $20, maybe even less than that, depending on where you're getting it. This is an amazing value. Ben, what do you got?
Is this really $20? I feel like it's $30.
No.
Really?
Dang. I mean, we're batting with like Old Forester 100 here for $20.
Old Forester 100 typically goes
like 20,
for what?
22?
23, I was going to say. And this, again, it depends.
Is this the cheapest bottle we reviewed so far?
Let me look up. It's got to be close to it.
I mean, this is really cheap.
Four Roses.
Yeah.
We had Wild Turkey 101s kind of in that range too.
Yeah, man.
And we all gave 2 values to Wild
I'll probably
Turkey.
Okay, I'm gonna go 175 here. It's really high. It's almost perfect. I would like a little higher proof, but that's just me.
I'm going with a 2. Ben can suck it. I think this is a really good bourbon for the value. I give it a 5.25. So,
7.25.
To be that high up, for $20 is really remarkable, and I think it can kind of stay there. So, yeah, I think that the value on it's really good. Yeah. So, I'm bringing our total scores.
Hands off.
Hold on, you didn't have that score right.
Bring our total scores. Are we on the board?
Oh my God, math. Jesus. We better not be on the board. I can't rewind this.
It'll be at the bottom, I think.
I can't do it again. It's going to be close.
It could knock Russell's off.
It's a 6 point. Our final score is out of 10. Ben with a 6.5, Brendan with a 6.75, and me with a 7.25. The average there is 6.83333 repeating.
Okay.
It's the same thing we gave Buffalo Trace.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
Okay, here's the big and here's the point there. They're very similar bourbons. Same price point, same
one's weeded,
same
one's
proof.
not.
Yeah, but they're very similar bourbons.
We knocked Buffalo Trace on availability, though.
Correct.
A little bit.
And you can get this everywhere. We said this is basically the same thing, like the same value. Now, you're going to, if you prefer caramel apple in a glass, you're going to go Buffalo Trace. If you prefer, what did we call this earlier?
I mean, it's maple syrup.
Banana pancakes with a cherry on top.
It's not banana pancakes.
I know, but Brendan said banana, and it just kind of
whatever.
Just a little banana
caught me in there. But not a bad. That's a good value. It doesn't make the board, but it gets close. I kind of
close.
People give another point on something. Just
round it up a little bit. I mean, it was close. People. Yeah. The thing about the difference in reputation that Makers gets versus Buffalo Trace.
What else is around this? What else is around this bottle? Is there anything?
I mean, Wild Turkey 101 was what for us? I mean, that was very close and similar price point.
Yeah.
Obviously higher proof 101.
Wild Turkey 101 was just under,
was like 7.1.
I think we're pretty close there.
1.0. Yeah.
This beat out Eagle Rare because Ben didn't like it.
But I guess my point is that people will talk about Wild Turkey 101 as this hero budget bourbon, and we agree with it. It is a really great value at that price. Buffalo Trace at $25 to maybe $30, if you can find it, is considered a high-end budget bourbon. This does not get anywhere near as much shine, I think, because it's so readily available. People kind of but there's nothing offensive about this. It's actually quite good. That's a buy for me. This is great to have in your collection for a beginner.
Yeah.
This beat out Elijah Craig Small Batch. This beat out Woodford Reserve. It beat out the Woodinville Rye that we did. It beat out the 3-chord. So it's done really, really well. And so a good bourbon. Again, and the cool thing about it is one that comes in a mini. So if you don't want to go out and take our word for it and buy the whole $22, go spend $2 and get a mini and see if you like it.
And it hung with you mentioned the Elijah Craig and Woodford, TJ, and those are similar in terms of availability. Those are higher in price point. Those are about $30. Mm-hmm. It outperformed the small batch for us looking at our scores here easily. easily before we even got to the value portion, and it was right there in the same area as Woodford Reserve before we got to the value portion. So, I mean, yeah, this we said it a couple times. This punches above its weight class for sure in the value category, like easily, really great value.
I think this is one that we would all suggest for folks to buy. It is something different. Have this in your collection. Like we talked about in the first part of this episode, there are a lot of branch outs, a lot of variations on what what Makers does. It's not all just this. There's the 46, there's the cast strength. There's a lot of different stuff going on. Check out all of their products. But yeah, regular Makers, not a bad option. For myself, TJ Pittenger, Ben Cock, and Brendan Sinone, this is Bourbon on a Budget. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Please go like us on all the social medias, and we will see you guys next time. Cheers.
Cheers.